I say I need more than desire, more than just a pretty face. So girl, you better walk away. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Only one love at the side of the fire. Someone who can handle me. Someone cut your heart too deep. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Right, so it's a little bit of a different video today. It's been Mental Health Awareness Week last week, and although I didn't really participate, it means a lot to me because I do suffer quite heavily with the bad state of mental health. Personal life last year as well as business has been hard, no matter what you see on Instagram. You know, we can make everything look great. We can show people whatever we want to show them, so we can only show them the good bits, which will paint a nice picture. But things have been hard, things have been tough, and they've affected me last year worse than they ever have done. And I guess I'm saying things today that I've never actually said to anyone. I mean, if some of my family, you know, if all of any of my family watch this, this will be news to them. This will be news to them. I've had to ring helplines because I've been in such a state. It's been tough, and because I can deal with it, I've kind of put it to one side. And when, you know, mental health awareness weeks come up, I don't speak out. Ashamed, embarrassed, a part of the emotions that I feel. You don't want people that look up to you and look to you as, you know, where they want to get to in life, or they want to do something that you're doing, or they want to achieve or have something that you have. For them to let people know that you are struggling mentally, you know, it's you're scared if you're going to be judged, you know. And for me, I always feel like I've been the guy that's trying to fit in, you know. You know, I remember, you know, as a kid, even, mad. The more I think about it, the more that comes to mind. And I remember when I first moved from Brixton to Streatham, you know, the close that we lived on was in an L shape, and there was a lot more houses on one section. There was 20 properties on the first section and only 5 on this other section, and that's where we lived. And all the kids would be out playing. They had a green outside their houses. It was in a little square, and we didn't have that, you know. So from a young age, you know, I felt like I wanted to try and fit in with these other kids, you know. And then moving into school, it was the same. I was put into quite a high set, and I guess the kids that I guess you could say, that I hung around with and I connected to on a cultural level, they weren't all necessarily in a top set, and you find yourself pressured to do stupid stuff to try and fit in. I mean, I never found myself in that situation. I was never one who took up smoking. I never done drugs, anything like that. But, you know, it's hard when everybody else is doing that and you're not, and you're trying to find a way to fit in. And then that was, you know, as I moved on in my life, and then when it came into career, as mad as it sounds, colour was a big thing for me. Because I kept on finding that there were certain places that I was going to where there weren't people of colour, you know. And it made me think to myself, although I was accepted by certain people, there were a lot of decisions that were made that I thought to myself, would this decision have been made if the colour of my skin was different? You know, and it took a lot for me to sort of get over that. And, you know, you meet new people, and you only remember what you want to remember. So when you hold on to those good thoughts of people accepting you for who you are, and you're making, you know, new connections with people that don't worry about the colour of your skin, you kind of forget that it happens. And then when people talk about experiencing racism in the workplace, I sit there, I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I have experienced it, but it's just kind of, I sort of train myself to not think about it, because I am very comfortable in who I am, color, size, shape, form, very comfortable with who I am. I've been a skinny kid as a child, and I'm a skinny adult. As most black people, we don't have, big legs genetically. So from my calves to my ankles are very, very skinny, to the point that when I was a kid, I was wearing 2 socks, mad sort of stuff just to try and not make my legs look so skinny. I couldn't wear, for example, Air Force Ones with shorts because the size of the trainer is so big in comparison to my legs. It was just disproportionate, and so for a long time, I used to work on trying to build muscle, trying to build weight. And at one point I did. It was about, I don't even know when it was, but at one point I was 14 stone. And I had a massive fat neck and I had muscles. And then, I just stopped going to the gym. It all just sort of fell off, but I've always just been comfortable in who I am. And I know there's a lot of people out there who might not necessarily be comfortable with themselves, and the external pressures and the internal pressures can just be way too much. And now the only reason I'm making this video is because I was contacted yesterday by somebody that I'd spoken to a number of years ago, and I guess their view on me back then, they obviously judged me and they painted a picture of me in their mind, and they were, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. But basically, fast forward on to now, many years has gone past. I've become a father. Business has excelled. I've excelled personally, and my professional development, has come a long way. This person came at me yesterday with a lot of old news. Let me just read it to you so it just makes sense. So I basically, on Friday, I received 2 screenshots from this person's story. And if you don't know, I'm starting a skill school, Be Electrical London Skill School. So what it basically is I know that from being taught your trade as an electrician, you're taught the basics of electrics, you're taught how to work with them safely, you're taught how to install them safely. But in terms of running a business, in terms of pricing, estimates, tenders, knowing what sort of work you want to look for, from that side of thing, and then to the other side, which is sort of, you could call them skilled niche areas, but anyway, so I'm talking about domestic heating controls, lighting controls. It's 2021. The internet's everywhere. We need internet, so it's network, Wi-Fi. There's loads of things that are being incorporated and becoming part of a normal electrician's day of life. I mean, you can buy smart lighting switches on Amazon, for example, but you don't get taught this in college. You've got to try and pick it up. So, what's the best way to do it? What works and what doesn't? For many years, I've tried and I've tested loads of things. I've worked with loads of other companies. And so what I've decided to do is, from a lot of my mistakes that I've made, is give everybody the chance to better themselves, learn the things that they don't teach you in college, not teach you how to be an electrician, let's just get that clear. Just all round, just improve yourself. So this is how the message went. I sent the messages, the screenshots directly back to this individual, and I said, is there something that you want to say to me directly? His response was, you slandered me last year and I kept quiet about it, so be very careful if I was you. Now, what happened last year, this same guy told me that I'm not an electrician and I should just stick to hanging TVs. And at that point, I went to social media and I said this individual's name and I had said what he had said. So obviously he's a bit hung up about that. So, okay. Sorry, I've just had a look. he's unsent some bits of the conversation. So I've actually screenshotted them. So let me just go into my camera and pull this up. I was wondering why it didn't look right. Okay, here we go. So after I said, is there anything you want to say to me directly? He said, listen, you want to start giving it the lip slapping, you skinny tent peg, I'll personally drive to fucking London. And then he said, you slandered me last year, and I kept quiet. So at this point, I just sent him a postcode and said, let me know when you're on your way. He laughed and just said, daft skinny cunt. And then after that, he said, and yes, what I want to say to you directly is you're not an electrician. Just get over it. Why do you have to get so touchy about it? Just come to terms with it or get qualified. It's as simple as that, isn't it? Why not just stop lying about who you are and what you do? Stop trying to bum off the back of other people's businesses too. You're a loser in your little boy racer lowered gimp of a van. Showing up to jobs with your snap cap on, vest and gold teeth. How professional are you? You like a right chav gangster wannabe. A young boy that's not grown up yet. Stop messaging me like you know me, you absolute tent peg of a man. I'm having you for slander too, from the video last year. Using my name publicly on social media, I've never once used your name directly or publicly. There's the difference. And then ask me why a certain individual is in jail. And I left it at that. Now, there was a few other things that were happening yesterday in particular, which in my head amplified me receiving those messages. And what went on internally just took me to, I guess you could call it, I got very paranoid, and it took me to a different dimension in my head. I started to think that, there's thousands of people talking about me behind my back on the internet. I started wondering if there's people that I knew and that I talked to are, being two-faced and they're talking about me behind my back. It just went on from there. It just got wild, to the point that I had to turn off my phone. So I turned off my phone last night about 5-6 o'clock, and I didn't turn it back on this morning until about 11 a.m. And now I know social media is a big thing for a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that are building their businesses off of it. And this individual, his profile is set to private, so I am unable to see what he's posting. And what started happening is all the people that are messaging me saying to me that he's talking about me, he's then started blocking people that are following me, so they can't then tell me what's being said. So after a long hard think, I thought to myself, this is the only real way for me to deal with this, is to speak about it and see that this stuff does happen to literally just everyday people. I'm just a guy trying to get on with my life, and I mean, the attack, I guess you could call it an attack, that being delivered to somebody else could have pushed them over the edge last night. There was some real mad personal things in there that, if they were true, could have hit hard, So I mean, if we just touch back on some of these points that were made, I mean, first of all, he didn't come to London. Okay, I guess I didn't start giving it lip, so I'll give him that one. He didn't have to come down, fair enough. But again, so a few years ago when I spoke to him, I was in a position where I'd done my qualifications to the point I could sign my own work off. Now, if you're not an electrician and you're not familiar with how the sort of the grading goes, you can do your level 2 and your level 3 in electrical installation, and then from there do your, at the time it was your 17th edition, which is now your 18th edition, and you could do some other qualifications. I done building regs, and then I done my test and inspect. With those qualifications there, one, that gave me recognised city and guilds qualifications, so that made me qualified. I then done my test and inspect, which allowed me to then test my own work and sign it off. So in the eyes of a governing body, i.e. NIC or NAPIT, I was able to sign off my own work. I'm a qualified electrician, I have qualifications from City and Guilds, and I have an active registration from a governing body allowing me to sign my own work off. And that's the route that I went down. I had those qualifications and I was signing off my own work under the NAPIT full scope scheme. Now, if you take the apprenticeship route, you will work up through your qualifications. You will then do your MVQ level 3, your AM2. You do those qualifications and then you're awarded with a JIB gold card. Now, you can have this card, but not test and inspect and still be, you can get this card from getting those core qualifications without having your test and inspect. And you can work for a company as an electrician, but you are not able to sign off your own work as a self-employed electrician. After you get your gold card, you'll then have to go and do your test and inspect. And at that point, you can then sign off your own work. So there's two ways to look at it. You might not be a recognized, approved electrician from the JIB's point of view, but in the terms of being a qualified electrician who can sign their own work off, you can be without a gold card. Moving on, snap cap, vest and gold teeth. Now to me that sounds like he plays a bit too much Grand Theft Auto and looks like one of these guys. I mean, I can see a similar resemblance, although it be, things that don't matter. You can clearly see there are no gold teeth in my mouth. That was many years ago. So again, fake news. I don't wear vests to work. I've got branded t-shirts, branded hoodies, branded fleeces, branded jackets, branded caps, branded beanie hats. So yeah, I have a very professional uniform and I do not turn up to any of my clients' homes in a vest with gold teeth. So there we go. I mean, even down to trying to get at me for a van. I mean, it's a metal box with 4 wheels. I mean, I will go outside and let it know how you feel about it. And I'm sure tonight, once everybody's asleep and all the toys wake up and the cars come alive, he can write me a little note and let me know how he feels. But on the other hand, if you are jealous and you do want a van like mine, do get in contact. I've got a good friend who builds vans and he can make one just for you. So, this guy must be really hurting inside for some reason to feel this angry to speak to someone like that and over the internet. So he's hiding behind, his mobile device or whatever he's using, iPad, and he's letting out his anger for whatever reason in the form of, abuse, which could damage people. He is obviously suffering mentally himself. And if you are watching this, I just want to say I feel for you. I hope you can find some peace and I hope you have people around you who can offer you the support that you need. If you don't feel like you can speak to people around you, there are a lot of organisations out there that you can help with free phone numbers. I'll put the links to some of the websites and the phone numbers below. So if anybody is struggling out there with their mental health or they just need somebody to talk to, you can contact me through Instagram. My DMs are open. You can call some of these numbers and hopefully somebody can help you out. Again, in response to this, I would like to use this opportunity to maybe bring all electricians together under something new. So what I'm going to call this is the Ground Loop Electricians Community. So GLEC for short. So I'm going to show you here. So a ground loop or an earth loop, it occurs when 2 points of a circuit are intended to have the same reference to earth, but instead have a different potential between them. So what I'm trying to get at is if we've got 2 people here who are supposed to be, working together because they're both electricians, and for whatever reason there's a difference between them, it just needs to be squashed, So that's where the Ground Loop Electricians Community hopefully will come from. If you guys want to take part and we want to make this a thing, please get in the comments below. Let me know. Put down, we want to see GLEC, and if we get a bigger response, we'll do something about it. We're only here to better each other. As I say, we spark as one, you know, and we're all in the same game, you know, whether, you know, some people are doing jobs that others wish they could be doing, or some people have vans and tools that others wish they have. We're all in the same boat. We're all still Sparkies. We should be out here to help each other, not, you know, putting each other down or thinking that one's better than the other, you know, or if someone does something wrong, people are just so quick to attack them and say, you're doing it wrong, you're not any good, you're rubbish, you should stop what you're doing. Help them. Because at one point I needed the help. My very first day as an electrical mate, I turned up on site with a whole bag of uninsulated tools. A whole bag. Someone had to help me to tell me that I needed insulated tools. You know? If at that point, you know, I'd just been ridiculed and told I was stupid and, oh, you're never going to be an electrician because you made a stupid point. Now, I might not be where I am today. You know? So it costs nothing to be kind. Absolutely nothing. You know? So you just got to think about the younger generation, and let's be fair, there's guys out there who are absolute dicks to people online. Now, what if that was your son? Or what if that was your daughter? You know, because I've seen there's a few young female electricians out there, and you know what? Big up to each and every one of you, because it must be hard. And don't get me wrong, the plumbers as well. I see a lot of female plumbers out there as well now. And big up to you guys, because it must be hard to be in a sort of male-dominated industry as women and still have the gusto to go out there and just be like, yeah, I'm an electrician, so you know what? Big ratings to you. But yeah, guys, just think about it. The next time you decide to pick on someone and say, oh, you know, you're doing something wrong, or you're never going to be this, you're never going to be that. What if that was your child? What if in 20 years' time, that is your child who is trying their utmost best to change their life, to start a career, so they can have a family and provide for them, and someone's just shooting them down at the first hurdle? Come on, man. It's not the thing that needs to be done. Come on, it's not what we need to be doing. I do also just want to say that, you know, being jealous is a normal and natural feeling for, you know, human beings. But acting like that out of jealousy is just not needed. I mean, if you work hard, you can also achieve the same things that others do. And again, if you work together, you might even achieve those things quicker. So yeah, hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. You know, and I'm just trying to help. I'm just urging everybody to be a bit kinder, you know, just to think a little about, you know, just think more, you know, just think more. People might be going through things that you have no idea about, and some people might not be as strong as others. And, you know, you could be the tipping point to make, you know, someone's life drastic, you know, and have detrimental effects because of your just, you know, your loose lips, or just because you was having a bad day and you wanted to lash out. So yeah, if you like my idea of the electrical community, please let me know, drop a comment. If we get a big enough response, we'll do something about it. So again, guys, spread the word about the Ground Loop electricians community, and hopefully we can start something here. Thank you very much. See you guys soon.
Come closer. I'ma give you some closure before you know it, it's over. So run away, run away. I'm not trying to hurt you, but I will if I have to. I'ma tell you what I do. Run away, run away. Baby, I'm a fighter, never backing down. Baby, I'm a soldier, standing my ground. So if you're gonna fight me for my heart, all you're gonna get is battle scars.